What up, guys? Jason Geiman here with King of Pressure Wash. And tonight we're talking about pressure washing and starting and growing a business in 2024. Can you believe it? We're only like 27 days away from 2024. How crazy is that? And so tonight I want to talk about what are we going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to grow your business? How are you going to help you get to where you need to go at? What are you going to do in 2024? I'm going to talk about some different things that I'm going to kind of show and tell you what you need to do or what you should do and how you can grow your business, what you need to do now before we get to 2024, when we get to 2024. And so that's what I'm going to talk about tonight because I'm excited, not really because 2024 is here, because that just means how old we are. And so the older you get, the faster time flies by and time just keeps moving faster. And so with that, I've got a new book that I've been listening to. I really want you, it's a really good book for you. I know I haven't done the book of the week in a while, but I'm going to give you the book of the week as soon as I can pull it up here because I didn't do it beforehand because I forgot. But this is a really good book that I would highly recommend you to read. It is definitely something that I think it is definitely life-altering, life-changing type of book. And so I want to just kind of show you this book here, and it's one that I've been reading, and it is kind of mind-blowing, right? It's kind of one of those books, it's like, oh, wow, I need to do this, right? And so the name of the book is called Mind Shift, right here, Mind Shift. I don't know how to get it here where everybody can see it. And so it is a really good book. I'm not all the way through it, but man, I'm in just the first few chapters and I'm like, wow. So it is definitely a book that I would highly recommend you to do and read. And this is something that a lot of you struggle with. I struggle with it myself, and you struggle with it yourself too. Because how do I know you all struggle with it? Because when I hear comments, you can't get that in my area, or whatever excuses you have, this will help you understand how you can overcome these things and how you can change your mindset, and how when you change your mindset and you shift your mindset from thinking this way to thinking this way, you can explode. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to grow. I want you to be successful. I want your new ceiling of where you think you are to be your floor, right? I want you to go up to the next level. And this book has a lot of that in there. And that's why I'm telling you to read that book. I know I haven't been doing a lot of the reading for you or telling you, but that's because I've kind of slacked a little bit myself. And so that's the book I'm telling you that you should read, because it is a very good book for you to read. So this weekend, been very busy. My youngest did a horse show. I did some stuff with my oldest daughter. Man, kids grow up fast, and she wanted to go to Kings Island last night, so we went up there with her friend, and I walked around looking at the lights and looking at all the crowded place, and it's kind of excited to see it's crowded because that means people are still spending money, and so that is a good point of that. And so it was a lot of fun to go, and it wasn't very cold. We had to park out in the boondocks to be able to walk to there because it was so crowded. But I got to see lots of Christmas lights, and I like looking at Christmas lights. And so that's what I want to do, and that's what I like to do. So with that, tell me what your all's goal for 2024. Put it in the comments. I want to hear what your all's goal, because I'll talk more about this on setting goals for 2024 and why it's important that we set goals. If you never set any goals and we don't even have a mind shift to change, then how can we change mindset? So tell me what your goal is for 2024 as we get going here. But before we do this and get moving on, Total Outdoor Solution. What's up? How are you doing? We got George Yost, Mr. Big Time. How are you doing? Determined Pressures. Woohoo, let's go. I'm glad to be here, Jason. Crazy Bill driving to Cincinnati tomorrow. Good, I can get that trailer out of my backyard. Hopefully, with it didn't rain too much, and I won't be able to get it out of there. Hey there, everyone! It's the best time of the year. You are right. Expand my EDDM and get into email marketing for commercial. That is a good thing to do. Servant Soft Wash, how are you doing? Evening, folks. Saul, he's got a ton of stuff here. He wrote, "I'm ready to stand on ball bull business." We got Mr. Tristan in the house. He's I've been getting a lot of young entrepreneurs, and I love the young entrepreneurs because the young entrepreneurs is the next generation, right? And so it's awesome that we're able to help start shaping them, help making them so that they can keep growing and that they can understand and grow. And that is a very important part. And the thing that I love about Tristan is Tristan comes every Monday night to my Monday night marketing. And if you didn't know, if you join kingofpressurewash.com, every Monday night I have a Zoom call. There's about 20 to 30 people that show up. And the ones that show up are successful. Most of them are successful. I'm not going to say everyone's successful. Actually, I would say every one of them is successful because they're learning something that they didn't learn before. And so the ones that show up, they ask questions and they're growing. And that right there is the ones that will grow, right? And so Tristan, he shows up. And the thing I love about Tristan, and this is something that you got to think about as yourself, he asks lots of questions. Yes, do I make fun of him for it? Yes, because why wouldn't I not do that? That just shows him how much I love him. But he is an awesome young entrepreneur. He's going to do 200, 250, whatever in Dallas. You know, he's getting $8 a foot for Christmas lights, and you can't get that in my area. And he's getting big commercial jobs, doing $10,000, $20,000 commercial jobs. And he's just a young entrepreneur going out there killing it. And it's awesome to watch him grow. And I can't wait till when he hits his $1 million. He just bought his first house or duplex, I believe it is. And so it's amazing to see awesome things happen when people do the right things and go for it. Is $150,000. Brian said he wants to do $150,000 out of Tennessee. Daniel, what's up? 6 figures. Put the right systems in place and grow. Let's see. Hey, Tristan, the young pressure washer. Yep. And Saul is killing it too. Dan Maddox, people are still spending big money, and that is a great thing out there that people are still doing that. And the old entrepreneurs too. And you know what? It is because you know what? I love Brian Fletcher. He's older than dirt. He's probably one of the oldest people on here. Maybe not. There might be somebody. Is there anybody older than like 65? Because that's how old Brian is. And so, I hear sometimes the people in their 40s and 50s of, I could never do this. I'm too old. I can't learn technology and blah, 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 right? It's all the blah, blah, blah. And then so, I love seeing people like Brian Fletcher get on here and do lives. You know what? Because you can do it. It's not rocket science at the end of the day. And so it's awesome to see people like that are growing and getting to where they want to go. Chip said, what's wrong with middle-aged people? Nothing, just middle-aged people. Just starting my soft washing business and wanted to say thanks for all the help, information, really. Brother, really appreciate it. No problem. That's what my goal is to help people get to $100,000, right? My goal is to help 1,000 people get to $100,000 because I do believe it's changes lives. And before long, I'm probably going to have to make it $200,000 so that you all can still be successful with the way everything is. But that's where my goal is. All right. So let's get started here. Let's talk a little bit about here. What do I think? What are some things that we need to do in 2024 to grow our pressure washing business? And these are some things that I would really highly recommend that you do. Number one is go write your goals down. If you don't write goals down, and if you don't set things that you can achieve, and don't just write $150,000 and that's it, right? Try to set different goals. Try to set like, hey, you know what? By April, I want to do $10,000, right? By July, I want to do, $35,000, $100,000, whatever it might be, and sit there and start figuring out, what do you want to go at? Where do you want to be at? Don't just put down money too. Be like, hey, I want to spend $10,000 next year on educating myself, getting smarter, doing something. And some of you, you're like, holy crap, there is no way I can do that. But some of you, I'm talking to you, you can and you should. When I had a big conversation, I actually flew out to Dallas. It wasn't just to see Tristan, but I always see Tristan when I fly out there. And when I flew out there, he's like, what should I do? And I said, you should spend $15,000 to $20,000 investing in yourself. Go get educate, and not just in pressure washing either. Go learn a skill better. Go learn a skill set better. Go do whatever it takes you to grow, keep growing. Because when you invest in yourself, you will 10x it in the long run. And so, I always say if I spend, whatever training I go to, I want to 10x it. There's a training coming up that I'm putting on that the week after, I'm actually going out west to do a social media marketing examining class, right? It's a week long. Yes, it costs $1,800. It'll cost me $3,000 by the time I play fight and hotel. But I guarantee you, I will be able to 10x it. It will make me $30,000 in the end of it. And so this is why it is important. I actually went out there in 2016, and that's how I've learned more stuff. That's how I'm able to teach you better, because I'm staying up on it. I just paid some money this couple weeks ago of $1,000 to learn AI better, right? And guess what? If you're in on my Monday night marketing, guess what? We're going to be talking about the first 4 weeks of January. You got it, AI. Because in 2024, I really do believe that AI will be a big factor in growing your pressure washing, Christmas light, any type of service business. If you're not using it, you're going to be behind, because the things that you can learn with it can take you so far forward, right? You can put data in it. It can tell you what your customers are. You can put your customer data in it, and it can tell you kind of all different kinds of things that data can give you. And so as we are growing, that's what I will be talking in 2024 in January, of how to use AI. It might be 4 weeks, it might be 6 weeks, it might be 8 weeks. It depends on how long it takes to get there. I've got different things that I've learned that I'm going to be giving you, and it's going to be gold. And I promise you, it will be worth it just for January, if nothing else alone. And so that's how I'm going to keep growing myself, and so that I can help you grow you. Because when I can help you grow yourself, you can be like Dan Maddox and get to $400,000 in 2 or 3 years, 4 years, right? Because that's what it is that's going to help you grow. I've made at least $100 for every dollar I spend on training, coaching, leading, and reading, right? It's because you've got to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, nobody else is going to invest in you. And, this isn't going to college. This is, figure out a skill set to learn. The reason why I learned marketing so well is because I spent the $3,000 that someone said that if you pay me $3,000, the money is just going to come in. The phone is just going to ring off the hook. You got this beautiful website. The phone's just going to blow up. And guess what? The phone blew up because it never rang. It just did nothing. And so that is some things that, as you keep growing your business, these are some things. Back to setting goals. I love this. I have 45-star Google reviews. I want to have 100 5-star reviews by August 31, 2024. This is a great goal. Don't just set monetary goals. Set how many customers you want. how many 5-star reviews you want, how many whatever it might be that you want, how many trailers you want, how many units you want, right? These are things that we have to do, and this will help you set yourself up for the future of growing a pressure washing business. Next thing is again, I just said it, AI. AI, I think, is going to be huge. Now, do I think that going and doing the old style of flipping rocks and knocking on doors still works? Absolutely 100%. Do I think networking still works? Absolutely 100%. If you're not good at it, do it. Do hard things. In 2024, do hard things. And yes, you can do hard things. I get it. It's hard to go knock on a door and say, hey, do you need any pressure washing? Right? So if you suck at sales, then go spend money on learning how to do sales. Just go better yourself. That's all I'm telling you. And I don't care if you buy from me, I don't care. Go better yourself. That's the best thing I can give you. If you don't believe in yourself and if you don't try to grow yourself, you will never get where you want to go for your business. And guess what? If you want to be on the truck the rest of your life and make, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 and you're happy there, that's fine. That's good for you. But if you want to grow that and get it to 100,000, maybe you want to get it to 250, maybe you want to get it to 500,000, maybe you want to get it to $1 million. Maybe you want to grow it to a $5 million thing. You know what? And I haven't talked to him here recently, but his goal, Wes Bloom with out of Atlanta, his goal was to do $3.5 million in Atlanta in a 5-mile radius circle that is just killing it. And he was going to do $2.7 million in pressure washing and $800,000 in Christmas lights, right? Now, those are goals. He's 27, 28 years old. Those are goals. What's your goal? That's why I say that. Now, you might say, well, that's how did he get there? I'll tell you how you get there. So he went to college to be a financial advisor, and then he don't use that, but he does. But he, last year alone, he spent over $60,000 investing in himself. Yes, $60,000 investing in himself. He's doing masterminds. He's doing coaching. In fact, the book that I was telling you, I was listening to how I found that book today was I was listening to Craig Rochelle. I love his podcast. If you're not, again, you should. It's Craig Rochelle podcast. He talks all about leadership. And so, to grow your business to the 3.5 million, to the 5, 7, 800,000 $1 million mark, you have to be a good leader. If you're not a good leader, you're not going to get there. So in 2024, you may need to learn to become a better leader. And so if you're going to become a better leader, then guess what? That's where it is. But he was saying that and it makes sense, right? When you're starting out, you don't have a coach, right? When you have one coach on the sideline. When my daughter played soccer last year, my youngest, she had one coach on the sideline, right? One coach is all she had. And you got coach once a week, and that's all you have. As you get higher in sports, right? My older daughter, she has the goalie coach. She has the regular coach. She has assistant coach. She has a defense coach, right? Because it's as you grow, you get more specific coaching to where you can grow. And then as you get into football or whatever, into the pros, you have a whole line of coaches over there. Plus, you have a whole line of coaches that you go to also. Like Michael Jordan, he had like 4 or 5 coaches. One's about eating, one's about this, one's about that. Because when you want to become the best, you have to pick those things and let people tell you what you're doing wrong, right? Because we think we know everything. And let me just tell you something here. You don't know everything. Brian Fletcher is older than dirt and he don't know everything. Right? And so this is hard as us entrepreneurs to accept that and to keep growing our business. And again, I don't care if you get coaching or not. Do you want to grow or do you want to stay where you are? That's up to you. Can you grow without coaching? Sure you can. I've got people in here. He's got to over $250,000. Now he's getting coaching. Now he's getting different things, right? Because this is what you're doing to grow your business. If you want to be at $30,000, $40,000 a year, that's fine. You can be there. But if you want to grow, these are some things. So 2024, I think it's going to be, one of my predictions is, at the end of 2023, it got rough for pressure washing businesses. I would lie and tell you it was easy, smoothing sailing for everyone. For a lot of people that focused on the wrong customer, struggled in 2023 after August. Like, business went pretty down pretty fast. And so if you were only focused and you were the cheap pricing and you were at the $300 house washes and that was your main house wash, you struggled with it because those people quit spending money. So you have to go look for commercial, or you got to go look for high-end customers that are still willing to pay. Dan posted up here that people are still willing to spend because he's going after high-end customers. If you're going after the cheap customers, there's probably not a lot of those that want to pay the money. And so you've got to go for the high-end customers to keep growing your business. So that's that. Operations, you got to start figuring out those systems. And what I've been telling people in my Christmas light people, or like in my mentorship of Christmas lights, start figuring out what you need to do to get people in now while you're still in it. Or if you just got done with pressure washing, we're still not that far out of pressure washing. Start writing down what are the systems that you need to do so you could put a brand new person in there and get yourself off the truck. If your goal is to get off the truck in 2024, this is something that you need to work on. If you're not working on this now, especially, we're getting ready to be in the winter months. It slows down. If you didn't know that, January, February, March, it slows down. Unless you're in South Florida or middle of Florida and down, everywhere slows down in January, February, March. It will start picking back up when you start seeing the grass getting cut. And if the grass isn't getting cut till April, guess what? You're going to be slow till April. And people always be like, it's March, it ain't nobody calling my phone. Well, is anybody mowing the grass? Nope. Then they're not outside looking at their house. If they're not outside looking at their house, they're not mowing, they're not looking for pressure washing. I don't care how many signs you put out. I don't care how much marketing money you spend. If they're not mowing grass, if they're not outside, they are not buying for Christmas, or they're not buying pressure washing. That's just the way it is, and that's just the way it is. So that's something that you have to see, and that's something that you have to do to be able to do that. And this is something that you have to think about, and this is something that you have to look at doing. So the other thing is again, if you want to get off the truck, you need to start putting these systems in place. This is a good thing to do during the wintertime. Get you a step-by-step of what needs to be done. And again, if you don't know how to write things or what to say or do it, you can put it in AI. AI works very well that you can tell it to do things and it will do it. If you haven't used ChatGPT or Claude, those are two things that you can use that are very cheap or very free. They're both free model, or you can pay the $20 a month model, and they're both very cheap, very easy. The other thing is effective marketing, right? We got to get to, this is a good time that we can start getting our blogs. We can start doing our post. We can get a strategy together for 2024. In mentorship, I always make people do the next 6 months. I don't want you to do a whole year of marketing, but I do want you to do 6 months. And here's the reason why I want you to do 6 months. Because you're going to see people that are going to do something. Want to do that. Well, it takes time to do that. For instance, I've got somebody right up here I seen on here, Chip. I know this is Chip, and they do EDDM. This past year, they worked very well for Christmas or for pressure washing. And so at this point, he needs to know, when are you going to ship it out? You can't be like, you know what, I'm going to ship it out next week. Well, you got to get them printed. You got to get them ready. They got to be bundled in 100. They got to, you kind of got to know, you got to have the funds to put them in there. And if you haven't strategically placed when I'm going to send it or what I'm going to do, then how can you do it right at the end? That's why you got to think about it, and you got to strategically start planning, so that way you can say, I want you to set a goal. Hey, I will do 5 social media posts a day. I will do 5 social media posts a week. I will do 1 blog a day. I will do 1 blog a week. I will do 1 blog a month. I will, what are some other things that you can do that, right? I will go and meet 5 new people every week. That's a tough one. Try it. It'll grow your business, I promise you. If you go and meet 5 new people and you get to know a lot about them and you understand them, it will grow your business. Maybe do 5 a month, 1 a week, right? But you have to write these things down, because if you don't write them down and they're up here, guess what? In April, there's a lot of other stuff up here and you've forgot what you got here, right? But this is what will set you apart from your competitors. Because you know what your competitors are doing? They don't have a clue what they're doing. They don't know to answer the phone. They don't know to do whatever, right? Most of them don't have a clue, because when you look at this and people will say, I've called 5 people and you're the first one to pick up the phone. So that's the number one thing. What do you got to do to make sure you answer the phone every time that phone rings? Because did you know that every time that phone rings, if your average ticket, let's just say for easy sake, is $1,000. DJ's average ticket this year was $1,000. Now, his close rate was 30%. So 1 out of every 3 calls, that means every call that he gets out of 3 calls is $300. Now, is it worth picking up that phone for $300? And you might say, Jason, that ain't true. Oh, yes, it is. If you let that phone go and you don't answer it, there went $300. Oh, there goes another $300. I'll call them back later. Well, they done called somebody else and got booked, and already they don't need you no more. Or they don't trust you because you didn't answer their phone, right? And so this is why it is important that you answer your freaking phone. I preach this over and over and over, and you think you would get it, but there's a reason why I preach it, because it's so true. If you don't answer your phone, people are just going to leave. And if you don't want business, that's a good way to leave businesses, is to not answer your phone. 3 to 5 lives a week, right? That's another goal, right? And so what I want you to do is put in the comments, what is your goal for your marketing goal? Just one thing. What is one thing you're going to do in 2024 that you're going to do? Now, what I would say is what did you do this year that worked very well? And that's the cool thing. If you've been in business, go analyze what was the number one driver for you in your business. Because this is what I see people do. They'll do very good with yard signs their first year. The second year, they don't put no yard signs out. And then they wonder why their business went down. Well, what got you to where you go, right? What gets you here ain't going to get you here. But what gets you here, you got to keep getting here so that you can get here. And so a lot of people will do yard signs, and get here. And then the next year they're like, I am not going to do no yard signs, and I'm only going to do paid because I don't want to spend my time going out there. And then they only get to here. You got to stack this stuff, right? All this stuff is stacking on top of each other. If I'm going to do 5 lives a day, if I'm going to do 3 to 5 lives a day, that doesn't mean I'm going to quit doing what I did over here that was working, right? And that's why it is so important that as we keep growing this business, that we keep stacking and stacking, right? That's all it is. There's nothing special about it. And, I don't care if you're in whatever business you're in, social media works too. And you know what? If you're going to use it, you got to use it. Social media isn't going to work if you're going to post once a month. It don't work. It's not going to work if you post once a week. You might as well not even do it at all. It's probably not going to work if you post once a day. So pick what you're going to do. Make sure you're going to do it and keep doing it. Do some of on the call spot testing during your lives. Pick people that you know and call 1 or 2 per live to see if they answer. They probably wouldn't. Brown's pressure washing is a great example of what to do. It is. He's done very well for himself. I know him personally. He's done very well for himself. So true. I missed out on a potential $12,000 job by not being quick to respond. By the time I got back to the lead, they had hired someone else that quick. And here's the other thing. I see this happening a lot too with new people. You get a big bid and it scares the living hell out of you. A lot of you are scared of success. And I know you have a fear of success, and that can be a bad thing. And you may not think you have a fear of success, but when you see that big building and they call you, you're like, I don't know what to do about that. Right? And we do nothing with it. We sit on it for a week. We sit on it, and we're going to get to it, and we never do because we're afraid that we might get that building. You know, I always talk about Benjamin Gregory on here. Benjamin Gregory, he was a competitor of mine. When I was in business, he was in business. He had started in 2015, I think, 2015, 2016. And he was one of my competitors. And so he grew his business, and now he's doing over $1 million, almost $1.5 million a year with 1 to 2 trucks. I know he's got 3, but basically 2 trucks. And he's gotten there, and he does big jobs. I mean, big jobs. Like those jobs you're like, how the hell am I going to get these done? But he does them. And you know how he does them? One bite at a time. There ain't nothing special about Benjamin. He's got ADD. He can't focus to save his life, right? But he does amazing things. And you can too do amazing things. That's what's awesome about this business is there is no perfect person for this business, right? There is no perfect person for this business. You are the perfect person for this business. There ain't nothing special about me. I was scared to death to do social media back in the day. They barely had social media back in the day when I started this business, right? But I did it and I learned. And if you look at some of my very first business, if you look at some of my very first videos, you can go to look up Cincinnati Pressure Wash YouTube channel, and you'll see that I was not in very many videos in the beginning of the day because I was scared to death. If you'd have told me I would be at where I'm at right now when I'm 43 years old, almost 44 years old, I'd have said you're crazy. But you know what? I've been blessed with a talent, and I feel like I can help people grow their business, and I know I can help people grow their business. I'm looking at one right here that he's done over $150,000 in Christmas lights, never ran a service business in his life, started it this year and did over $150,000 in Christmas lights this year. So, and he will tell you that I've been on the phone with him a lot and I've helped him a lot, and he will tell you that if it wasn't probably for me, he wouldn't be there. Now, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just telling you that it can be done, and that there's special people out there that I was able to help, and I feel like that's my calling, is I can help you grow your business, and that's my whole goal. And so with that, Jason is the social media king. But it takes time, right? And it takes it, and the only way you get better at it is by doing it. And if you don't do it, then you're not going to get better at it. And if you don't get better at it, then it's kind of a waste of time at the end of the day. And so don't be afraid of criticism. Don't be afraid of that you suck, because when you start out on social media, you're going to suck. That's just part of growing and learning, and keep doing it. But I'll tell you, the more you do it, the faster you get at it, right? We got a little pressure washing in here. He does a ton of videos. If you go back and look at some of his first videos, they're just like mine, right? Terrible. But you know what? He's getting better at it, and it's a lot easier. And guess what? He's growing his business. He's growing his gas cleaning business. He's growing his other business of building equipment. And so this is what it is all about at the end of the day. All right. I am going to come up here and go through some of these questions. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. When I get down there, I will answer your questions. Just starting, Ethan, good evening. How are you? Got a problem. My U17s that got nationals next week for soccer in Tampa, but I booked installs. Send me an installer, Jason. 2x your yard signs numbers a week from 2023. That's a good one. I like it. Good evening, Pressure Washing family. How are you doing, Artie? I already read that one. Staining fences has been such a huge upsell. I have a goal of how many I would like to stain next year. I hate fences, but I'll tell you what, it's a niche that you can get into, and it's a higher end niche. It is something that has to be done. Otherwise, you can tell them their fence is going to rot and fall over, and then they have to put up a whole new fence. And so that's a way that you can do that. Concrete staining is another niche, whatever you want to call it. I'm joining my local chamber of commerce within 2 weeks. Jason, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Hit the little button down there that says that. If you're not subscribed to me, subscribe to me. If you want to know when I go live, I have a phone number here. You can text the word King, King, if I can find it. KING to 859-696-1101, and I send a text out right before I go live. Let's see. So true. I missed out on a $12,000 job by not being quick to respond. By the time I got back to the lead, they had already hired someone. That just makes you sick. Tuning in, just got to the shop, working on building these trailers, got on the big screen. I spent $0 in marketing this year and had my best year. I don't think this is normal. I had tons of referrals, and I think my brand awareness is paying off in rural area, also being ranked, right? Those are things that will help you out. If you do your Google My Business, get your Google reviews in, do your, if you've done your Google post, that all helps you get ranked back there. And that's some things. And, the referrals, ask for referrals. Referrals can be a huge thing for you if you're not asking for referrals. Again, that's something that you need to do. Number one in the Google Map Pack also helped. Yes, 100%. And so this here and where you're talking about the other ranking both relate to each other and helps you get better and better. Couple goals, Jason: in-person training and use yard signs that are taking up space in the garage. Yeah. If they're in the garage, they're not making no money. I promise you. I will put 1,000 on yard signs and do a live twice a day. We got a phone call from the owner of Sonic that 38 of their locations are not being serviced correctly by their current pressure washer. So going to quote that tomorrow. When you do get a big contract, treat them as good as you were when you're trying to get it, or they will hire someone new. How often should you post on social media? A lot. If you're going to do social media and only do social media, you probably need, and that's all you're going to do, you're not going to do nothing else, you probably need to post 8 to 10 times a day. And yes, you might think I'm crazy, but I can show you proven data that if you post that way. I've got Savannah and Andrew out of Florida, and they post 8 to 10 times a day. They do lives, they do photos, they do quotes, they do all kinds of stuff, and they're at $500,000 to $750,000 a year. But that's how they've grown it. Because when they started, they didn't have no money. They were literally broke. They were literally living out of a camper. It takes a good couple of years to establish and known, in my opinion. Blessed life. Jason's a man. Anyone miss me? Laugh out loud. I'm like, I missed you, F-bomb. I'm going out to place gutter cleaning yard signs. That's a good thing to do. Right now, it's not, well, some of you up in the north are freezing cold, but even here, it's not hit they're not frozen yet. But now all the leaves are falling and you can go do gutter cleaning. We always pushed our gutter cleaning to now, right between the 10th and Christmas. So that's a way that you can keep money coming in, is to do gutter cleaning. If you haven't done gutter cleaning, it is a way that you can get money. Now, don't go cheap. You can still do good premium pricing of $200-$300 for one story and go up from there. Yes, people will pay for it. We got Rick, who is in Monday Night Marketing, and he did, what did he say he did? He did $39,000 just in gutter cleaning alone in the month of November. $39,000. Imagine that, $39,000 just in gutter cleaning. You have no money other than gas driving around. And he does have one employee that goes around and does it with him. But that's crazy to be able to do that kind of money in gutter cleaning. Yes, you can. I actually, one of my competitors here started with a gutter cleaning business and was doing over six figures, doing $100,000 in the Cincinnati area, just doing gutter cleaning. So there is money out there to be made. It's just you got to go get it, right? And the good thing about gutter cleaning is even if people are broke, they got to get their gutters cleaned out. So that's a good thing. Do you clean up the leaves after you blow them onto the ground? It depends. If they want them hand scooped and not blown in there, one price. If I can blow them out on there, it might be a little cheaper price, right? It's all in what they want to spend. That's where you do packages because don't just give them a package of $200, right? Hey, package one, we blow out the gutters, and that's all we do. If you want package two, we actually hand scoop them so that way we clean up, we throw it away, where we take it away. In package three, we'll flush the gutters, make sure that we'll use water to flush them. We'll make sure that they're flowing out right and properly, so they're not backing up on you. So that's a way that we can tier and package our gutter cleaning. 2024, if you're not doing packages, you better start doing packages. Packages make you more money. Packages, packages, packages. I know I preach packages a lot, but packages definitely make you a lot of money, so you need to be doing packages. Mr. Caleb, he's a youngin, like 15, 16 years. He might be 16 now. I'm back. Well, good. Good, 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 good. So it don't matter how young you are, you can still make a good money doing pressure washing, Christmas lights, anything you want to do. So if you haven't joined my Christmas light group, I do have a Christmas light group on Facebook. It's growing like gangbusters. You can go to christmaslights.io/group, and there you will find it. I am also Christmas Light Contractors has donated a couple of the starter packs. It's 100 feet of Christmas lights. If you go to christmaslights.io/GSP, Google or giveaway starter pack GSP, and fill out there. I will be giving some of those away this week, and so you might want to check that out also. And then lastly, King of Pressure Wash. I have all my pressure washing stuff in there. How to grow, how to start, how to do everything. Also, the big key that I do the Monday night marketing. Man, if you're not doing Monday night marketing, you really should be doing it. We go over marketing and then we get to talk with each other, and people watch people grow their businesses. Again, we got people at a zero, we got people at 100,000, we got people at 500,000, and so it is a way that you can keep growing your business and keep making yourself move forward. Any other questions? Put them in the comments before I jump off here. Again, I just want to say that 2023 has been a good year for a lot of people. I know a lot of people have started and growing their business, and it's amazing. I've been hearing amazing stories. I love hearing your stories. Your stories are awesome. And so make sure that you are, taking care of your employees. If you got employees, that's a way that will help you grow your business. So it's been a crazy year. My dad lost his job, so I had to quit my business. My grandparents moved in with us, and my dad is in the middle of a lawsuit. Well, that stinks. Hope we have a better year. I hope you do too. Have a good night, and thanks for the information. But other than that, that's about all I've got. I hope you all have a good week. Yes, if you're still doing Christmas lights, there's still business this week. Probably by the end of next week, it's probably going to slow down next to nothing. But go out there, get things done. Start planning for 2024. That's what I would tell you. Start planning for 2024. Start looking at what you're doing now. What can you do better? What fears do you got to overcome? A lot of you got fears you got to overcome, and what fears do you got to overcome that is going to do that? I have permanent lights hi folks, permanent lights are going good. I have 500 feet booked for this week to install. just another 210 tonight, and I'm waiting to finish. What's this say? I can't read it. Here back on a quote for 750 feet. Well, that's awesome. That's really awesome. I've been working full time on the family business. 2024 is going to be great. Order new stuff shirts and also looking to buy 3 to 5 acres of land to build to a new me flatbed. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I hope you all have an awesome night, and we'll see you all later.